Time, guys. All right. Guys, let's all bring it in. Felix. Guys, so we are looking at feet to floor for the last 2 weeks of May. May is already almost over. And we're going to be looking to utilize our underhook, and we're going to look to go for a knee tap in today's class. In last week's, we were looking at using our underhooks to come to front headlocks. Okay, so again, really, really strong attacks. And now we can utilize our underhooks not only to pull, but also to push, and what we're going to do today. All right? Guys, also, there's a bunch of different takedowns, different grappling styles, Greco, folk style, freestyle, etc. Some takedowns for BJJ and for submission grappling are better than others. The knee tap, in my opinion, is something that's very, very underutilized, okay? So last week, what we were looking at is we had a good stance, and we were looking to go for a club to get our underhook, right? So we were more offensive. Today, we're going to look at a more defensive way to get to the underhook. So first, let's talk about the collar tie. So when I'm in a good stance and my partner's in a good stance, as they go for a collar tie, notice what they're doing with their elbow. Their elbow is on the inside of my chest here. So that now they have a really good control over me. And if I try to get their legs or something like that, it's going to be pretty much useless. I need to find a way to clear it. A couple of really good ways to clear it is going to be with an elbow pass, all right? If I push into him, he pushes into me, and I'm able to clear it. That's one way. Or Russian variations where I clear and I get into Russian ties, right? But if I can anticipate his collar tie and prevent his elbow from touching my chest, then I can go for my own underhook. So I'm going to be in a good stance. My hands are going to be up. As he's going for his collar tie, I'm going to pop the elbow up, and the elbow never touched my chest. I'm going to circle my feet behind him, and I'm going to grab his far trap. From here, my first line of attack is always going to be my not always, but a lot of times going to be my single leg, all right? The leg is right here. He's going to take this step back. As he takes a step back, my foot is going to go in front of his. I'm going to shoot my hand towards the sky, and I'm going to block his knee with my hand. I got to run him through. The reason this is really good is as I finish the takedown, I land in a pretty dominant position. There's no chance for him to go for a guillotine or for counter me or anything of that nature, all right? So again, once more. So we're going to be in a good stance. Guys, here, don't be too big. A lot of times I see people kind of wrestling, standing like this, like too much confidence in your counter abilities. Respect their game, respect their takedowns. So I'm going to be in a good stance. I'm making myself small. Even my shoulders are going to be a little bit up sometimes, all right? If I know that's coming, I can even use my shoulder to block myself a little bit, all right? Almost like striking. He goes for that collar tie, I pop it off, and I come around the corner, and I'm grabbing the far trap. I can grab either the far trap, the near trap, or the waist. The reason I'm choosing the far trap is because I'm about to shoot my hand all the way up, right? So now as I go for that leg, I'm going to run through him, landing in a really nice side control position. I'm going to collect that second arm, and now I can face him and get his head, all right? One last time. We're wrestling here, and guys, feel free to make it realistic. Show some fakes, move around a little bit, pop it off, boom. All right, just like that. Guys, prepare for the landing and watch your surroundings because you are going to have to run through your training partner. You're going to have to cover some distance, so just make sure we don't collide too much, and feel free to improv a little bit on the landing too. If you want to go for a mount, if you want to go for some variation from side control, feel free to attack as soon as you get to the top position. Cool? Let's give it a try, guys. There was a really nice knee pick in a couple ADCCs ago or last one actually, where Giancarlo Bodini fought Mateus Diniz, and Mateus Diniz did a really cool sequence on him. So what happened in that one is Giancarlo refused to go down, all right, because if his back touches the floor, then he's going to lose takedown points. So what happened is, the start was not like this, but we can start here. He goes for the whizzer. I'm just going for the single leg. As I start to run through my training partner, they're going to start to go to their forearm, to their elbow, all right? Actually, for those of you that roll my friend over here, he does a lot of this kind of stuff too. Popping to the elbow and then using this to come up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my hand. I'm going to circle now towards their back. From here, I'm going to turn my pinky to the ceiling. I'm going to take my pinky out, and I'm going to catch my underhook. My knee is going to go right into that spot. I'm going to look to step over them, and now I can look to go for their back. So this is kind of like a class application on the move. What ended up happening in the fight is he ended up jumping onto his back, okay? But the concept is pretty much the same, all right? So again, he's going to start to go. I'm going to pop it off. I'm going for my underhook. Guys, from here, the initial attack is very important, okay? Don't be lazy here. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to throw my arm, and I'm trying to really reach for that leg to go for the single. He steps it back. Look at his base. As soon as his base is compromised, now I can start to run him down, but now I noticed he went to his forearm. So I'm going to use that time to circle around him. My pinky comes up. I'm going to clear it, and I'm going to catch that arm right away, so it's hard for him to run away. My seatbelt is here, my knee is already in the right spot, and now I can look to step over him, and now I can look to take his back, all right? For sure, there's gonna be some improv. For sure, it's gonna be a scramble because the person that's falling down sometimes is gonna give their back voluntarily to stand back up. Depends on how they're gonna fall, depends on their height, etc. All right, but this can be a simple way to drill this concept of them refusing to go down and having a plan B to make sure that you score on that person. Cool? Let's get started.